Thanks for joining. I'm going to walk you through a demonstration of a capability that I think every organization should be embedding into their daily operations, and that's the root cause navigator, right? And also, regardless of what organization you're in, make sure you follow the policies of your organization when it comes to the utilization of tools such as ChatGPT or any generative AI tool, and make sure you mitigate any risk that is necessary for your business. With that said, in most businesses, when problems show up, whether it's slow invoice processing, rising customer complaints, rework, missed SLAs, service level agreements, what typically happens is the teams, they'll jump into fixing the symptoms, right? They'll just kind of patch things up. Yeah, they'll escalate, but we often don't take that crucial next step. And what is that? Is understanding why the issue is happening at its core, right? The root cause. So that's usually where someone like me comes in, a process improvement, an operational excellence professional. That's where someone like me will lead a structured root cause analysis using tools like Lean Six Sigma, the 5 Whys, fishbone diagrams, hard data analysis to go along with it. But what if your team could start that process all by themselves? And what if they had a tool that could guide their thinking, structure their analysis, and point them toward likely causes with data-driven logic? And that's exactly what this root cause navigator does. This GPT-based assistant embeds the critical thinking of a continuous improvement expert into your frontline team's everyday workflows. It doesn't necessarily replace process professionals. In fact, it amplifies our impact because it enables a stronger partnership between operational excellence leaders and business teams by embedding a problem-solving mindset at the source. With this tool, teams don't have to wait for a Kaizen event, right? Or a Six Sigma project to start troubleshooting. We all know waiting is one of the 8 wastes. They can engage immediately with structured hypotheses, prioritize root causes, and actionable next steps. It helps turn their gut instincts about these root causes into evidence-based improvement, and that builds a culture of problem solvers, and that's exactly what we want. So let's dive in. I'm going to walk you through an illustrated use case of an accounts payable team that's facing invoice processing delays, right? This is something that's generic, right? Could be applicable across many industries and businesses, right? They have an accounts payable team, right? They could be facing this type of problem. And this will allow you to see how the root cause navigator works and how it can empower your team to get closer to the real problems faster. Let's dive in. Let's hop on the screen share. Welcome to the OPEX Future Root Cause Navigator. Here we're going to tell you how to access the OPEX Future Root Cause Navigator GPT, and we'll also tell you about why this is not just another GPT, what the value differentiator is for using this as opposed to your regular old GPT interface that you normally would use. How to access the training GPT. You're going to go to ChatGPT. If you're not in it already, go to https://chat.openai.com. Once you get in there, create a login if you don't already have one. If you do have one, excellent. Just log in utilizing your regular credentials. Click on Explore GPTs. This is an inventory of custom created GPTs that exist out there. And in the search field, you're going to search for OPEX Root Cause Navigator. That's when you'll step into my world. And when you do, click Start Chat to begin and open the front door, and you'll come into the OPEX Future Root Cause Navigator that we're going to hop into right here. But first, what's the value add for using this OPEX Root Cause Navigator instead of just utilizing regular ChatGPT? So we're going to tell you about that right now, why this is not just another GPT assistant. This indeed is value added. Here we are. We got this matrix here, kind of have it all up front here for you to be able to see. This gives OPEX professionals a confident root cause analysis experience that transforms pain points into prioritized hypotheses faster more reliably than a regular GPT. We got our categories here, our root cause navigator GPT and our regular GPT. So let's compare the two on these different criteria listed in the categories. In the built-in methodology, the OPEX root cause navigator GPT enforces root cause analysis best practices such as Ishikawa diagrams, 5 whys, hypothesis tables, and validation steps. A regular GPT, it requires manual prompting to follow those structured root cause analysis methodologies. On the subject of contextual discipline, the OPEX Future Root Cause Navigator pauses analysis until sufficient context is provided or flags speculative inputs. The regular GPT, that'll generate answers even when data is insufficient, risking false evidence. Output format? Well, the Root Cause Navigator GPT delivers structured markdown tables with hypotheses, evidence, impact, and confidence, and the regular GPT will just free-form text that requires editing and formatting. When it comes to confidence scoring, the Root Cause Navigator GPT, it assigns numeric confidence to each root cause analysis, telling you a percentage confidence level. The regular GPT will not do that unless you explicitly request it. It's built in on mine. As far as domain-specific guardrails, the custom GPT here is tuned to Lean Six Sigma, OPEX, and root cause analysis vocabulary only, and the regular GPT, well, that's general purpose, and that can drift into unrelated or oversimplified advice. This one is specific here. As far as efficiency, the custom GPT asks for the right data immediately, and this minimizes the back and forth by having all the data you need on the upfront being provided to it. And on the regular GPT, the user must guide the process manually as they go through that, which is relatively inefficient. For professional readiness, the outputs in the custom GPT, they are report ready for copy and paste into OPEX decks or executive briefs if you so choose. The regular GPT, those outputs often need reformatting and validation before you actually share them or release them to the world. This custom GPT, as far as being action-oriented, this includes quick win actions and next best data to collect to drive momentum. That's built in. You're going to get that feedback immediately with the interaction with this. Regular GPT, there is no built-in momentum toward action or data validation, right? Once again, unless you ask for it specifically. Here, you do not have to ask. Your wishes are granted with your interaction with this GPT. As far as brand alignment, of course, got the custom GPT. That's a proprietary tool in a way aligned to the OPEX Future framework. And there's no brand association for the regular GPT there. But here, by having a brand aligned, it's easy to find, it's easy for the use, and you can just look for that OPEX Future Root Cause Navigator and find it in the custom GPT library. And as far as repeatability, the custom GPT, it ensures consistent quality across users and sessions. And the regular chat GPT that's not customized, the output can vary depending on how the user prompts each time. With the Root Cause Navigator, the instructions are built as such that you're going to get a consistent experience no matter where you are, no matter who you are, and no matter when you do it. Without further ado, let's hop into the actual use case example. Let's open up that GPT. Let's get busy and do a demo. Okay. Welcome to the screen share here, and here you are looking at the OPEX Root Cause Navigator. If you would like to get to this and work alongside of me, you will need to have a premium membership at this time with ChatGPT in order to access the GPT store to get access to custom GPTs, and this is a custom GPT. So if you do, go to the GPT store and go to your search and look up OPEX Root Cause Navigator, created by myself, Deon Baker, of course, the name listed there. And without further ado, we'll go ahead and utilize this for our demonstration here. So let's go ahead and input a business problem right here inside of our Ask Anything box here. And I'm going to type in our AP team. It's taking too long to process invoices. AP being our accounts payable team. And I chose this for the demonstration because most businesses have an accounts payable team of one form or another, and this is something that would be broadly applicable in the realm of business. With that said, let's press go. Oh, comes up with a little warning here, right? It says to perform a reliable root cause analysis, I need more context, process scope, timing, frequencies, recent changes, data samples. Please supply any available facts. If none exists, confirm that you want a speculative analysis and I will proceed at low confidence. And here it says the details that it's looking for. Key details to share if possible, average time per invoice, specific steps in the process, recent system, policy, or staffing changes, percentages of invoices delayed or percentages with errors and rework that takes place. Any tools that are used, like, right, what kind of systems are used in this process, like ERP systems, OCR, object character recognition systems, or any RPA systems like robotics processing automation within this process. Are there any known bottlenecks or pain points called out by staff, right? So please advise and they'll be ready to proceed either way. I'm not going to leave it hanging here with a speculative analysis. I'm going to copy and paste some information into the box here with some information about the business problem that's taking place to give it some information to chew on so it has a context by which it could provide some hypothesized root causes to the challenge of the AP team taking too long to process invoices. So I just dropped a response in this field here, and I'm going to read through it here, is that when it comes to the process scope, it shows some steps here for the invoice to invoice receipt to payment approval. Vendor sends invoice to shared inbox. Next, the AP clerk logs invoice in ERP. Then the invoice is matched to PO and receipt. And then the line manager reviews and approves. And last but not least, finance to the final review and payment scheduling. I have some cycle time data here showing the current metric and the current metric as well as the target, such as that average per invoice time is that it's an average of 12 and a half days, a median of 11 days, and the target being 5 days. Volumes, it's approximately 250 invoices per week, just an average of 50 per business day, and the volume increased 20% in the last 3 months. Some information on delays. 40% of invoices are stuck at the PO matching part of the process. And that's missing or mismatched POs. 25% are delayed during managerial approval, well, that's slow or unclear ownership. And 15% are delayed at finance review, and that's where rechecking is taking place due to prior errors, right, that took place upstream in the process. Systems tools that are being used, SAP, ERP for invoice tracking. There is no RPA or OCR tools in use. And email-based vendor submissions, there is no vendor portal being used. Everything just being sent via email. Recent changes that have taken place, the AP team actually lost one person in April, and that person has not been replaced. There's also been a new purchase order policy that requires a stricter 3-way match, and that started in May. And finance added extra compliance checks after them conducting a Q1 audit. So we got a few critical changes that have taken place recently in the business. When it comes to error rates, approximately 30% of invoices have issues. 18% have a PO mismatch. 7% are missing fields, and 5% are duplicate submissions, right? That's how that 30% breaks down. 18, 7, 5. With that said, we're going to press go. Let's see what our root cause navigator has to say, given this additional information that we're providing about the business. It says, thank you. The detail is excellent. And here's a root cause analysis of your AP invoice processing delays. And it provides me with 6 different hypotheses for what the problem could be for these processing delays taking place in the AP business. We have several columns here provided that has an index 1 through 6. We got our hypothesis in the next column, our evidence in the next column, impact of that in the next column, and the confidence level that the GPT has in the hypothesis in the last column. Hypothesis number 1 is that stricter PO matching policy is causing 40% of invoicing delays. And the evidence for that is that 40% are stuck in the PO match plus the May 1st policy change that has taken place. That's having a high impact, and it has an 85% confidence in that being a strong hypothesis for the cause of these delays. Second hypothesis is that there is missing and incorrect POs that are driving rework and delays. The evidence for that is what we provided, right? There's 18% PO mismatch and a 30% overall issue rate. There's a high impact of that on the business, high impact of that on the processing delays, and that's an 80% confidence. Hypothesis number 3, approval delays stem from unclear line managerial accountability. And the evidence for that is 25% is stuck at approval. There's unclear ownership noted, right? Medium impact, 75% confidence. Fourth hypothesis is that recent FTE reduction increased backlog and cycle times. The evidence for that is, remember, we lost one person in April, plus there's been a 20% increase in the volume. Impact medium, confidence 65%. The fifth hypothesis is that extra finance checks are causing redundant delays. The evidence for that is that there's 15% of the invoices are stuck in finance due to rechecking. Medium impact on the business there with a 60% level of confidence. And the sixth hypothesis is that manual intake and no object character recognition, OCR, is slowing entry and is increasing errors. The evidence for that is that SAP is manually used and there is no RPA, right? No robotics process automation, no intelligent automation built into this, no object character recognition tools being put to use in the process, and 7% are missing fields, right? Medium impact on the business, 55% level of confidence. The root cause Navigator GPT goes on to provide us with quick win actions, right? Provides us with 6 different quick wins here that we can activate into the business. They're listed as retrain requesters on new PO matching standards, flag and auto route unmatched invoices for exception handling, define SLAs and escalation paths for line manager approvals, assign temporary resources or automation to assist with SAP entry, review finance compliance checks for redundancy versus risk, and pilot OCR and RPA tools for invoice intake, right? Those are some quick actions we can take. It provides us with data and tests that are needed, right? Gives us 4 recommendations here. Timestamp logs by process step, right? To validate where these bottlenecks are taking place. Exception frequency by vendor or by department as well. Get data on those things. Get data on the time to approve by manager and team. And get data on the rework by keeping a root cause log to see the types of POs that are being mismatched. It also provides us with assumptions and risk, right? These are always lurking in there somewhere, and it tells us here. It gives us 3 assumptions and risk. 1, it assumes that invoice delay categories are mutually exclusive. It's also assuming that PO policy and audit changes were not accompanied by training or system updates. And last but not least is that manual entry issues inferred due to lack of automation, right? That's how that's inferred, because there is no automation, so it's inferring that the issues are manual entry related. Last but not least, it provides us with next best data to collect. And these are 4 different pieces it provides, which is a step-level process timing logs from SAP if possible. Get it directly from the system. Rework loops and frequency per delay category. Manager-level approval stats. And vendor performance, right? Error-prone versus clean invoice submitters, right? We want to see how this data is coming in our invoices to see if it's something that's starting at that point in the process. And there you have it. This is the OPEX Root Cause Navigator GPT, giving you more clarity about the root causes of challenges that are taking place in your business. And by utilizing this, you can expedite the solutioning so that you can get to the root cause of why things are taking place in your business, right? And what you do with it next, it all depends on what your capabilities are, right? It doesn't preclude the use of someone that's an external consultant or an operational excellence or process excellence professional or a Lean Six Sigma professional, for example. Those people could still be valuable because your team might not have the bandwidth to tackle the validation of these root cause hypotheses. It also may not have the bandwidth to actually follow through with the remainder of what's needed to execute these things. You got your own things to do on a day-to-day level within your business, right? The businesses have what they need to do to keep the lights on. And in order to tackle these at a deeper level, you still may need to leverage additional analysis. But this gives you a head start that may hit the nail on the head. It may require some deeper level analyses as well, but it also may hit the spot to give you exactly what you need to make incremental changes to improve your business and make it run better and more efficiently and effectively, and improve the user experience to enable human excellence within your team and in your business. With that said, appreciate you taking the time to take a look at this use case demo with the OPEX Root Cause Navigator. Go to the ChatGPT store, look this up, try it out for yourself, give it a run. Let me know how it is for you, right? Is it working? Are the things that you would like to see improve from this? Are the capabilities that you would like to see in a tool like this? Let me know. Until then, take care.